IDPs sheltering in different parts of Tigray continue to endure prolonged suffering, pushing them to the brink of death as a dire situation exacerbated by lack of food aid delivery. IDPs from Western Tigray, who are now sheltering in Adwa, Central Tigray, expresses ongoing distress as delays in food aid delivery persist. They say they are facing severe hardship, reporting agonizing suffering due to starvation.
We've been stationed on this dusty ground for 3 years, relying on this makeshift mat, feeling utterly helpless. Presently, we confront the grim specters of death and illness. We're without sustenance. My husband resorts to begging. I was pregnant and I gave birth, but I inexplicably lost my newborn, leaving me in uncertainty. Over the past 3 years, 300 IDPs, encompassing children and the elderly, succumbed to starvation.
IDPs say they find themselves resorting to begging, driven by the desperation from the lack of food aid from humanitarian organizations. They express that they teeter on the brink of death due to severe starvation.
We are hovering on the brink of demise, ensnared by the dire grip of starvation crisis. Students have abandoned their education, staying home as the specter of starvation looms over them.
We have no one here to help us, because we're in a similar situation. The local residents in Adwa have been helping us till now, but we find it difficult to beg from the residents, knowing that they're grappling with parallel hardships. Our children are not here to take care of us, since some of them suffered injuries or lost their lives when fleeing home.
The IDPs call on the federal government to facilitate their return home, emphasizing their urgent need for repatriation as they implore the diaspora community and humanitarian organizations to extend a helping hand, appealing for the collective efforts in addressing their plight.
We urge for a return to our hometown.
We need the government to facilitate our return to our hometown so that we can ensure our sustenance.
We urgently implore the government to facilitate our immediate return home. Rather than facing the dire prospects of starvation here, we seek the relief of returning to our homeland, even if it means confronting our fate there. Endless talk proves futile. I earnestly appeal for immediate assistance.
In a concerning update, coordinator of the IDPs camps in Adwa, Ibrahim Mariam, highlights a growing number of IDPs succumbing to starvation, emphasizing the critical need for intervention. He underscores the importance of humanitarian organizations and the international community urgently reaching out to provide food aid to the vulnerable displaced population.
How can the fathers, mothers, and children be able to survive for the next 2 to 3 days as the starvation worsens? Over the past 3 months, the toll of starvation has climbed the lives of more than 15 IDPs in these camps. Without prompt government facilitation of NGO support for food assistance, the survival of these vulnerable individuals is in jeopardy, with a stark forecast indicating the risk of losing more lives within the next week. Immediate intervention is crucial to prevent further tragedy.
Head of the Community Beneficiary and Participation Office in Adwa, Hadas Takhlut, declares that the economic capacity of the local administration is insufficient to alleviate the hardship of the IDPs. She calls upon both governmental and non-governmental bodies to intervene and save the lives of these vulnerable populations, highlighting the pressing need for a collaborative and expansive effort to address the escalating crisis.
Humanitarian assistance ceased recently, adding urgency to the situation. A united effort involving all humanitarian organizations and governmental bodies is imperative to rescue the IDPs confronting death and enduring a scourge of starvation.
Recent information discloses a dire situation with over 115,000 IDPs from Western and other parts of Tigray facing hunger in the camps of Adwa.